Bluetooth range testing with the Cypress CYBT-MESH evaluation kit. So starting at my desk with the two evaluation kit boards, I have one board programmed with a Mesh Lite demo, the other with a modified dimmer demo, which results in it transmitting on-off commands sequentially. Both boards are being powered by CR2032 batteries. Now I will take this board on a tour of the house to see just how far it can manage with the range. So as long as the LED is blinking, the board is receiving commands from the other board which has the modified dimmer switch demo. So the first stop on our tour is the study room, and that's about 10 meters away, but through various numbers of walls and other obstructions. Normally, most of my Class 2 Bluetooth devices cannot make it even this far, but impressively the Cypress CYBT has no trouble. So as we proceed along, we can now head into the laundry, which while by distance is much the same, it goes through a different set of obstructions. Again, no problems. So now I dare to go a little bit further, and we're now heading towards the Rumpus room in the back of the house. The Rumpus room is about 12 meters away from my desk and through a larger number of walls. Again, the blinking doesn't seem to cease at all, so let's head on outside and see how far we can get away from the board. So we're outside now in the backyard. LED's still happily blinking away, so let's go right up to the fence boundary. And that's 20 meters from my desk, and right next to big ColorBond metal fence, and absolutely no dramas. Heading back slightly towards the back wall of the house, which is made of brick. It seems that the coverage in this area is actually quite solid, even though that's 15 meters now, and through brick walls and dry walls, absolutely no dramas. Considering there are multiple 2.4 gig wireless networks, this is quite impressive. So let's go on upstairs and see how it fares there. So the first stop on the upstairs tour is to head into the bathroom. And at the bathroom, again, there is no problems. The distance is a little bit less at just 8 meters, but now we've got other obstructions such as pipes and metal work to worry about. And heading over to the first bedroom, it's even closer to where the dimmer switch board is, but yep, it seems to be working just fine. So let's use the mesh capability and grab out a second board. So with this second board, I'm just setting up the jumpers so that it will power itself up from the CR2032 battery, and we can see that both of them are flashing in synchrony because both of them are receiving the same on-off command from the dimmer board in Bluetooth mesh. Leaving one of the boards up here as a mesh repeater, we can see just how far the mesh can take us. So now heading over to another one of the bedrooms, I will set another mesh board in the window upstairs, and we will head on outside in a moment to see just how far this mesh system can reach. So there is the board in the window with the antenna facing up, and now I shall enable the third receiver board with the light demo. We can see it's blinking as well, and let's head on outside. So in the footpath, we're already 13 meters away, and I'm just heading up the road now with the board. Apologies for the sunlight, it can get a little bit difficult to see the LEDs, but I'm already in my neighbor's property, and they're probably looking at me a little bit strangely. But as we continue up along the road, we can see it's still blinking, which means that it is still receiving a command from any one of the mesh node stations. So we're now in my neighbor's property, and the board still seems to be operating just fine. although from here on the connection begins to be slightly flaky as the noise floor and interference starts to catch up. So the limit of coverage seems to be about 35 meters until it starts to show some dropout, and that is to the closest mesh node. This is a very impressive result, given that depending on the angle that you hold the board and the amount of local interference, it could potentially go quite a bit further. So the Cypress Easy Bluetooth Mesh Evaluation Kit really shows the strength of the Cypress Bluetooth modules. The modules seem to have a very good range, and even with just the onboard printed trace antenna, the range is more than I have experienced with many other modules on the market. The fact that all of this mesh network was operating off CR2032 cells and inside a residential home with walls and other obstructions, and yet exceeding the 10 meters that you might expect of a Class 2 device, is certainly quite impressive. The mesh capabilities also extend Bluetooth to a further distance than would otherwise normally be experienced. This has been Gough Louis evaluating the Cypress Easy Bluetooth Mesh Evaluation Kit for Element 14 road tests.